Hello, Buena. Welcome to another episode of Buena TV from the Film&TV 1 class. My name is Athena, and this is Liam.
Hey Athena, third quarter is all done. You know what that means?
That the school year is almost over, and every senior will have to leave the comfortable world that they know and face the reality of adulthood, whether they're ready or not.
I was going to say that the end of quarter three means that we have spring break, and how exciting that is. But sure, we can talk about life after high school. In our first news story today, we'll highlight student athletes on campus who are taking their talents to the next level. Several seniors have committed to continuing both their academic and athletic careers at colleges across the country. From balancing practices and schoolwork to connecting with recruiters, the journey takes dedication and discipline. Sometimes athletes have already made their decisions, while others are still weighing their options. We take a closer look at their stories and what this next chapter means for them.
For high school athletes, playing at the next level isn't just a goal. It's years of early mornings, long practices, and constant dedication. And for some students this year, that hard work is opening the door to college athletics.
It's exciting, proud coach moment, that they have the opportunity to go on to the next level, and get their education and continue to play football. So, that level up process, from high school to college, real exciting. And I'm glad the kids have the opportunity to do that.
That dedication recently paid off for senior Ricardo Brooks, who has officially committed to continue both his academic and athletic career in college.
I committed to Western Colorado. I chose it because the relationship with the coaches and the players and the community is good and the campus is great.
I'm from a small town, so I don't want to go to like a huge college. I want the community to be, together and be able to make friends and not have to go into a big campus with thousands of kids, be scared.
And for juniors like Cole Isaacson, the focus is on preparation. With one more year before graduation, he's already working towards his opportunity.
What I'm going to do my senior year is I'm going to try my best to improve, get better, faster, stronger, and stuff like that.
Whether committed, considering offers, or preparing for their moment, these student athletes share the same mindset: dedication, discipline, and belief in what's ahead. And for many of them, the next chapter is just beginning.
Sports are very important here at Buena High School. It's incredible how many different sports are offered here every season. For our next story, we'll look into how our sports get funded and where that money is spent.
Here at Buena High School, the game on the field doesn't just have players working hard, but also administration. Behind the scenes, the athletic department works to ensure every team has what they need to compete.
I think that some sports kind of got to work for it by doing all these fundraisers, and I think some sports be getting a lot of money from the school. Now, personally, I play football and I run track. I feel like the more the funding goes to the soccer and the basketball teams.
Most of the school's core athletic funding is split evenly across all sports, ensuring that from football to cross country, every student athlete starts on a level playing field. This even split means that popular high-revenue games don't just benefit one team. According to athletics, money from ticket sales and game day revenue flows into a general pool of funds that is divided back out to support entire athletic program. However, the basic funding doesn't cover everything. To get that extra edge like specialized travel gear or off-season tournaments, teams rely on their own fundraisers. These student-led efforts, from discount cards to restaurant nights, are what provide the additional funding that allows individual sports to have things like team accessories and equipment.
Any of the equipment, uniforms, that's what the school pays for. Stuff that stays with the school. And then the players, they pay for stuff that, like if we want to buy T-shirts, we buy hoodies, or we got plaques for stuff like that, then that's stuff that goes directly to the player.
Looking ahead, the school continues to evaluate how this balance of shared and individual funding can best serve its growing student body.
Hey Liam, you eat lunch, right?
Yeah, I'm always waiting in those long lunch lines waiting to get my pizza.
I don't know why you wait that long and pay that much just for one slice of pizza.
But remember, $4.25 gets me more than one slice of pizza. That also pays for a drink, fruits, and veggies, and another side as well.
Well, let's take a look at our next news story, which explores why lunch costs what it does.
Lunch is a major part of students' days. Every day, students pack into the cafeteria eager to buy food and snacks provided by the district, but what many students don't know is what goes into these prices.
I think the lunches are too expensive for their quality being how bad it is, but I think the things at the snack shack I think they could also be a little cheaper, but yeah.
Feeding over 1,000 students every single day is no simple issue. There are many factors that go into the pricing of food for students.
When you're talking about pricing lunches at schools, you're going to factor in other government regulations plus all of the things a normal business would talk about. And it's a reimbursable program from the federal government, so you're going to see a lot of different factors at play, but those all get done so the federal government can help reimburse our school, which then can help pay our contractor, SFE, so they can build in their own profit into the pricing and figure out how much they're charging for lunches.
Profit, overall expenses, competition, and what students are willing to pay are factors accounted for the district when reaching the final prices that students have to pay. While students have varying opinions on the food provided by the school, this district has also accounted for families who may still be unable to pay for the current price.
You know, I understand how they feel, but if you fill out that application, there's a good chance of you being able to be qualified. But there's a lot of parents and students that don't do it.
The district website offers a full insight into what is included in their lunches as well as the prices. They also offer a quick and easy form for parents to fill out to see if they qualify for free and reduced lunch costs. Included with free and reduced lunch, applicants can also receive discounts on sports fees, student programs, standardized testing fees, and other benefits. Go check it out.
I guess I didn't think about all the different factors that goes into pricing school lunch. I thought administration just decided the cost based on inflation or something.
On the topic of lunch, our next story will investigate the length of time we spend for lunch. I'm sure many of you have wished we had more than 30 minutes just to buy lunch, eat our food, and chat with our friends. But as you probably guessed, simply extending lunch might not be possible.
Lunch. Everyone has it. Students and teachers alike all eat their food during these 30-minute periods. However, while some people are satisfied with the length of it, others are not.
I think it could be a little bit longer.
I feel like a longer lunch period would help.
I think the current lunch period's a good time in the day, especially on Wednesdays. I feel like it all works perfectly, you know?
Yeah, the period needs to be like 15 minutes longer.
I don't know, maybe I'm just a big back, but I think 30 minutes isn't long enough to eat lunch.
I think the 30 minutes that we have is pretty refreshing.
It probably should be a little bit longer.
While some students wish for an extension to lunchtime, 30 minutes seems to be the standard.
Well, that's the minimal amount of time it can be by state law.
There are many different factors contributing to the lunchtime, as the daily schedule is a very complex and finely tuned plan.
What people don't always know is that in order to be, for like a school year to count, you have to go to school so many minutes per day and then so many minutes per year.
While changes may happen in the future, students and staff probably shouldn't get their hopes too high.
So we're not looking at changing the lunch schedule. Something to consider if we were to do that, we would have to change the length of the school day, because if we give any more time to lunches, we have to add time somewhere else, and so we might have to make adjustments to other classes, other periods, things like that.
So whether you like it or not, the 30-minute lunch period is probably going to stay for the time being.
March is here, and that means competition season for the CTE classes. Engineering, automotive, film, TV, and nursing have their state competitions in early April, while DECA is preparing for their international competition in late April. But happening before all of that is a local filmmaking competition open to anyone to participate in. Let's have our entertainment reporter tell us more about it.
Hey Boyna, it's me, Cody, with an upcoming look at a movie event. The Kochi's 48-hour film competition is returning March 27th through 29th, challenging filmmakers to write, shoot, and edit a short film in just one weekend. Students can sign up for the student division, giving high school teams the chance to compete, showcase their creativity, and see their work on the big screen. But there's also an open division, welcoming filmmakers of all experience levels from across southern Arizona. Registration is open now. So please check out Kochi's 48's social media for more info.
Thanks for watching, but before our show ends, we're going to send you over to our other news desk to hear some more great news reports from the Film&TV 1 students. Enjoy.
Have fun.
Hi there, and welcome to the second half of the newscast. We have 4 more news stories for you. My name is Shamia.
And my name is Alice. Hey Shamia, you ever been late to class?
No, I've never been late to class. In fact, I make sure to show up 10 minutes early to every single class period.
What? That's impossible. Well, some students are frustrated with the tardy policy because they're getting in trouble for being late. So we investigated the situation.
Oh, great. I'm excited to find more about this tardy policy and what it's like to be late to class, since I've never experienced anything like that before.
When students arrive late, they lose valuable learning time, and it also tends to disrupt the learning environment for the teacher and the students around them.
Well, they cause the class to be stopped because they'll knock on the door and you have to open the door for them. So it stops the class for, a minute or two while they're coming in. So it is a disturbance.
The main concern with being late to class is if you are late 4 times in a single semester, then you will receive a referral. This can affect grades, sports, and extracurricular activities.
Well, one, it's a policy, right? It's important for students to obey anything that's listed in the Code of Conduct in the student handbook. But being punctual is a good skill to have in life. It sets you up for some really great habits, and it helps you keep a schedule and maintain the schedule of the class. So if kids are coming in late, kind of disrupts things and can be frustrating for the teachers and other students.
I feel like it affects me with sports and just overall being at Buena. If you get too many, you get lunch attention and a referral.
With the beginning of a new semester at Buena High School, students are arriving at school and to their classes after the bell rings. With the new tardy policies this school year, students are being punished a lot heavier for this lack of punctuality.
Spring sports are getting started here at Buena, and athletes are getting excited about their upcoming season. Have you heard of the new addition being added and currently being built for our new tennis team?
No, I haven't heard of anything recently, but I've seen this huge concrete wall being built by the tennis courts when I sit outside for lunch.
That's right. The wall being built is for the tennis players to practice their skills by themselves.
Things like footwork, consistency, and hand-eye coordination can be improved with the pawn never needing a partner.
Let's go see how this project came about.
Tennis is all about practicing with partners, but with the help of Mr. Tomoka and sponsors, a practice wall is being built.
Wall, and it's funded by donations from all these community members. Getting a plaque made to put everybody who helped donate, they deserve that respect.
Of the brand new wall, players are excited to improve their skills.
Yeah, 100%. I'll use the wall to get back and forth and then get faster how I play.
This seems like a great choice of funding. I'm sure tennis players are excited to practice even without a partner. Make sure to check it out when you get a chance.
Navigating high school hallways can sometimes feel like a challenge between crowded corridors and unwritten rules. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. Today we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of hallway etiquette to help make everyone's school day goes a little bit better. Smoother.
The hallways of Buena are full of people trying to get to class and talking with friends. People stopping in the hallways halts the flow of traffic, causing problems for students that are trying to get to class.
It's pretty quick to go to class because everyone is trying to get there, in my experience for first period. During school, I hate when people I'm walking behind them and then they just stop in the middle and I'm trying to get to class, but it's whatever. And then after school, it's low-key just a rush, and people just shove you everywhere, kind of, and just everyone wants to leave, so.
The crowded hallways aren't just an inconvenience, they also raise safety concerns. With limited space, accidents are bound to happen.
So obviously, when it comes to dressing up with students, we talk about it during cult time. We do different activities kind of geared towards how we should be acting in the hallways, how we should treat other people. And then, of course, if I see something happening in the hallway, then I have to step in sometimes. And that could be it could be something as simple as say, hey, don't do that, or it could be further disciplinary action if needed.
If you find yourself stopping in the middle of the hallways or walking slow because you're on your phone, you could be part of the problem. Moving to the side of the hallway will help us improve the experience of navigating the hallways and make our school day move safer and more respectful.
Hallway etiquette isn't just for a couple people, it's for all of us. Think about one thing you and your friends can do to help make our hallway experience run a little smoother. Remember, be safe, be respectful, be responsible.
Have you ever heard of AP classes? Some of my friends were talking about the final exam earlier today.
Yeah, actually, I'm taking a few this year.
Really? Are they as hard as my friends say they are?
Well, that depends on who you ask. Personally, I don't think they're all that bad, but you can decide for yourself after watching the following news report.
AP classes are a commonly overlooked resource that Buena provides its student body. Before writing them off as unnecessary, it's important to understand what they are and the benefits and drawbacks of taking them.
The AP exams are the kind of final segment of once you've taken an AP class. So you take the class for the whole year, and then at the end of the year you have a choice on whether or not you want to take that exam. What the exam does is it gives you the college credit to actually give to universities and kind of get credit for taking the class in the first place.
One of the main reasons students take AP classes is to take the AP exam at the end of the year. This helps them boost their student resumes and get a head start on their college courses.
I took AP classes because I'm interested in getting ahead in my college career, and AP classes, that's a great way to get those credits in and to complete those while still in high school. The kind of work we do in a lot of my classes is a lot of review of the units that we need to cover for our AP tests. I would say that the workload is manageable as long as you stay on top of it.
AP classes can be an extremely helpful resource when students take advantage of them, and those planning on getting further education after high school should consider taking them. Talk to your counselor about enrolling in a few next year.
Hey Buena, it's Javaris with your sports update. Spring sports are heating up for Buena. Today at 4, the Colts varsity baseball and softball teams both travel to take on Casa Grande, while boys volleyball hosts Morena here at Buena at 5 p.m. Looking ahead to spring break next week, competition continues. On Monday, both the boys and girls varsity track teams head to Flowing Wells, while varsity baseball and softball face Sunnyside at 6. Then later in the week, the varsity softball team competes in tournament play at Millennium High School, and varsity baseball wraps things up Friday night with the road game at Catalina Foothills. Even during spring break, Colts athletics are staying busy. Go Colts!
That was a long episode of BTV, wasn't it?
That's what happens when there's so many great news stories to tell. Thank you to all the teachers and students that allowed our classes to record video and interview them.
There's so much happening at Buena, and we've only scratched the surface.
When we return from break, the Year 2 students will be back to provide you more episodes of BTV.
Have a great spring break, everyone.
Bye, Buena.